members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Good morning, everybody. We're here live with 91.1 FM, The Boss, on today's Entrepreneur. And we have Mr. Travis Tooke in the house. And he's going to tell us a little bit more about his classes that he has at Team Tooke Camp.
Thank you, Addie. Appreciate the opportunity to come here and speak a little bit about the program that I have. So our program, we started in 2005, actually, very different than what it is today. We started in my dad's garage, which was a 20 by 20 square foot facility with no air conditioning. So you can imagine in Houston summertime, that wasn't very appealing to families and kids. So it was just, that's how we had to get started. And that's how it is sometimes.
And you have classes for kids, and the kids classes start out at about how old again?
So we have a special class just for 3.5 to 6-year-olds, and then we have another class for 7 to 13-year-olds.
And enrollment, about how long or how far in advance do they have to start looking into maybe calling you to see when they can become a member or come in?
So enrollment is something that we do year round. It's not a program that is seasonal. Martial arts is an ongoing program that we offer. So we have people enrolling every part of the year, and it's something that we encourage people to do year round. So unlike team sports like football, where you're going to be in it for a little while and then move on to another sport, in martial arts, it is more of a lifestyle and a character enrichment program that we want to encourage kids to do as long as they can.
And right now we have a couple of statistics that I was able to get from the source iSafe.org. I have here that 42% of kids have been bullied online, with one of them being verbally, and the others actually have been an actual attack. Now I also have here that you actually focus a lot on kids getting out of those types of situations. When there is bullying with a child and the parents to bring them in to be part of the team, how do you take them in and help them get through the bullying? What are the things that you focus more on?
One of the biggest problems with kids being bullied is that they lack the confidence to speak up for themselves and defend themselves. Mm-hmm. So while, for example, in our class, they are learning legitimate self-defense techniques. So in a situation where they would need to protect themselves, they will have that technical skill set. But the reality is bullies are not looking for confident, outspoken people to prey upon. They want the kid with poor posture, who speaks very quietly, who won't make eye contact. These are all the elements of our class that kids are practicing every single day. So that's why they're standing tall at attention. Mm-hmm. That's why they speak loudly. In our class, kids will have different character-based homework assignments that they have to read in front of their peers. And as you know, even for adults, this is the number one fear of everyone, is public speaking. Especially in marketing.
I mean, if anybody's trying to go into anything in business or things like that, you have to be very an outspoken person.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when a kid learns that early on, that they can get up in front of a group of not just their classmates, but the parents who are watching class and other adults there, it's nerve-wracking. It's very intimidating, but like anything with practice, it becomes the norm, and it's something that they can handle, and they can stand in front of a group and say, okay, well, sure, my heart rate's a little elevated, I'm a little bit nervous, but I've done this 1,000 times, I can do it. And so there's eye contact, there's speaking with authority and speaking with conviction. When a kid does that on an ongoing basis, they're not a target for a bully. It's possible, it could be, right? I mean, there are still bullies who will, seek out different kids for different reasons. They look funny or they speak funny. We were speaking a minute ago,
yes, let's talk about your situation.
Yeah, so I had a little bit of that when I was around 12. I just had like a funny voice, still do a little bit, but way worse back then, right? And so I remember there were a group of kids that would just consistently kind of target me, and it was all verbal. But that's even, a lot of times that's even worse, is to have.
You still hear the voices in your head. You go home and you still hear it after
Yeah.
school. I completely understand.
And a 12-year-old kid trying to be accepted by their peers and being not only rejected but laughed at. As an adult, we could look at that and be like, oh yeah, that was no big deal. Like I got
That
through
was nothing. Why was I worried about it?
Yeah, I wasn't worried about it. Why did I care about those people? They weren't my friends.
They're not even my friends now.
Yeah, exactly. But as a kid, that's your whole world. It feels like your world is coming to an end. So getting into an environment of martial arts where everyone is not only working to improve themselves, but working to build up their teammates. Everything requires teamwork. So you get the opposite of that. You get a team that not only accepts you, but is there to help you, and you get to reciprocate that with them, which is an amazing feeling, knowing that not only is there a group of people that care about me, that want to help me, but as I improve and my skill set is higher and I have something to offer, I can give that back to
the new
newer
people
student.
that are enrolled in.
That's extremely empowering.
Wow, that's so awesome. Let's talk about your medals. Let's talk about all your championships and all the things that you've won. Just kind of touch a little bit on that.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been training since I was 16 years old. Competed about that long as well. I'm a little older now, and I'm 37. I still like to compete. I still get out there and do it. It's more just for fun and just for the personal challenge of putting myself in that kind of strenuous situation, and I like to continue to challenge myself as well. So I've competed for years locally, nationally, internationally. In the last couple of years, I've had a chance to compete and actually got the silver medal in the No-Gi World Championships and the European Championships, which was in Lisbon, Portugal. So I go there every year to do that, and yeah, it's something I love. I think even though I've been doing this for 22 years, I still get nervous when I compete. My heart rate still goes up. I don't know what my opponent's going to do. I don't know how well prepared they are, how good they are. I just know that I've put in my time, and now I have to have confidence to go out and do it. And really, I like to practice what I preach. This is why I encourage my students to compete, to go out and do something that is uncomfortable, because life can be really uncomfortable and challenging, and it can be
you never know what
surprising.
life is going to throw at you, so it's better to be prepared and just have that confidence to be able to face it.
To have a mindset that like you can handle the unexpected when it comes.
Definitely. And so you lived in Brazil for a year?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to live there in 2004, 2005. So a little over a year, crossing those 2 years. And I went there when I was a brown belt. I came back as a black belt, and that was an amazing opportunity because in Brazil, the culture is all about jiu-jitsu where I was. So it was just about training every day. It was hot. It was sweaty. Everybody there is just trying to like take your head off in class, So it's not necessarily for everyone, but for me, it was an amazing opportunity to go there, learn and train with the best people on the planet, and really be tested there.
And right now, do you say that you also have a strong group of women that are joining you in the classes?
Oh yeah.
So your classes are composed of both men and women for the ages starting from teenagers up to adults. But as well, you also have a class that's kind of like more for like self-defense for the women as well. Like if they're maybe going through something, can you talk a little
absolutely.
bit about that?
So a lot of times martial arts schools are comprised of a very high number of men and a tiny percentage of women. And I will say we do have more in the kids class. It's probably about 50-50. In the adult class, it was for a long time, it was mostly men. Now in recent years, that's really started to change. We have so many women doing the class, both the kickboxing and the jiu-jitsu. And
stay in shape.
they stay in shape. And we were talking a little bit earlier about, the reasons why women might want to do this, and they may not disclose all the information at first. They may say, I want to get in shape, or I want to, just learn something fun. But sadly, a lot of women have been through some terrible situations, whether it be domestic violence or they've been assaulted, verbal abuse. Like that. And, when that kind of environment is part of someone's life for a long time, it can really wear on their confidence and make someone believe that they can't be the person that they once dreamed of when they were younger. So getting into an environment with other women who are training together and sweating together and learning a skill set and laughing and having a good time, it reminds them of that kind of that youthful energy that they had, where it says, oh, I can be this person. I can do what I want to do. I have the confidence to
not feel stuck.
To not feel stuck. And it's empowering to learn a skill. When you learn jiu-jitsu and you learn chokeholds and arm bars and you learn these ways to not just defend yourself, but physically apply yourself every day, it's awesome. I love the looks on the faces of women when they get a technique. It's just they light up with this excitement, and they're some of the most technical students that we have in the whole school are the women. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's amazing.
And let's talk about the meditation. The meditation. How do you teach them a breathing class? You said you were saying that you also teach them that when they're taking the classes.
Yeah, so we do have a certain class in the week where we really incorporate this as a part of the class, but it's really an ongoing principle that we teach. When you are engaged in martial arts, especially, so let's say, you and I are training and it gets really back and forth, fast paced. Well, it's going to be about a minute of that before we're pretty tired, right? So what if we
need 30 seconds?
So now imagine we have 10 more minutes of training. We have to get through the round. We don't want to just give up and quit. Well, we have to be able to compose ourselves, and the best way to do that, to not let anxiety and panic take over from fatigue, is to control your breathing. So deep breathing, rhythmic breathing, try to slow the heart rate down and recover. And the benefit to this in training is you can train longer, obviously. You can get through that initial fatigue and continue to go. But the greater benefit to controlling your breathing is everyday situations become much more manageable. You learn to say, okay, well, here's a problem. Here's a sudden interruption in my day. Here's some bad news. Let me get my breathing under control before I make any decisions or react. And then I get
And then
to
if I
work.
still feel the same, count to 30, breathe, and then,
And the thing is, like, you never feel the same, right? When you take control of your breathing, every problem, no matter how big it is a little more manageable. You understand it a little bit better. So I think that's one of the greatest benefits that people will take from martial arts, even years after they stop training or they move on to something else. And hopefully everybody does martial arts for their whole lives. But the reality is some people may only be able to do it for a few years and then life changes. But I want every one of my students to take something permanent with them. I want them to take a permanent set of skills that they can defend themselves with. I want them to take a mindset that they can apply to whatever they do. And I want them to be able to calm down and focus on what they're doing. And that's where the breathing comes into play.
Very, very important. Now, as far as whenever you talk about enrolling someone and they need particular clothing and things like that, do you have like payment plans or anything like that, just in case if something's maybe a little difficult to come up with at times? Do you work with something like that? Or
yeah.
no?
So the way we do enrollments for a new student, so if somebody were to call in or they filled out a web form or something and they're like, I'm interested in trying it out. Before we do anything, we have everyone come in for an introductory lesson. That's a one-on-one with an instructor. So instead of just throwing you in the class and saying like, okay, go figure it out, right? We do a one-on-one lesson. We're showing them some basic techniques, and that's a free lesson. We're just showing them what we have to offer so that they can get better acquainted with our school. After that, we schedule some free classes. We have all the uniforms and everything, ready to go for a student to use when they try it out. So it's a very simple process.
So they get to try on the outfit, like they get to try.
Of course.
Oh, that's awesome!
yeah,
Without
definitely.
buying it, like just try it out.
Yeah, just put it on, come in, do the class, try it out.
That's so cool.
For sure.
So if anybody has any children that they know would definitely benefit from coming out, where are we located?
So our address is 10111 Grant Road, Suite R, and that is in Houston 77070. The best marker for kind of where it is in the city is near Willowbrook Mall. And
Okay,
yeah,
you're
so
really down the street from me. I'm probably gonna take my 3-year-old daughter.
now you have no excuse.
Now I have no
to come.
excuse. Dang, now I have to get some classes in there. And the phone number.
The phone number is 281-955-7300.
And do you have a website or
do.
an Instagram?
The Instagram is Team Tooke. That's TEAMTOOKE. And you can find us on the web at www.teamtooke.com.
Well, you're a true inspiration to a lot of us parents. Thank you so much for coming out here and letting us know about your facility and how we can take advantage of all of the awesome, cool teachings that you have there. We hope to definitely check you out on your pages and go out to see you soon. I probably will enroll my daughter. She needs to do something, dance or some martial arts. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us
Thank you.
with Team Tooke and Mr. Travis Tooke.